Hi everybody, I'm Joey and I've got a Galentine treat box for you tonight. So I'm going to just make sure I can see on my laptop here, I can see that's coming up, and there's where I see your comments. And then let's see, I have to get you on my iPad too, all these technical things I have to get set up. There we go. So I can see what you're seeing. That's what I do with my iPad. So if you're watching replay, obviously if you're watching right at this moment, you're probably not watching replay, but make sure you go ahead and say hi and let me know what you were watching. And once you come on to watch live tonight, I'd love for you to say hi and let me know you're here. And I think actually we're ready to go ahead and get started. Hi Diane. Okay, I think we're ready to go actually, so let me go ahead and click the phone and we'll get going. I just have to click a little thing on my phone and I'll go upside down and then you'll be right side up. So here we go. And sometimes it takes a moment. I usually go too far or not far enough for you to see my workspace. Looks like maybe I went a little too far. Let's come back a little bit. Whoops, kind of crooked. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I'll let that go for a minute. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Forgot to bring my display board over. So this is my next Be Creative Club class. We're doing the Flowering Rain Boots class. And with this class, you get half a pack of the Subtles DSP. You get a pack of this ribbon. It's both the Blushing Bright and the blue. They both come in the pack, and then you'll get also a package of the Artistry Blooms self-adhesive sequins. I will put a link to sign up for that if you're interested in it. It's my club, but there's no obligation with my club. The club part is if you take it for 6 months in a row consecutively, you get a $25 gift certificate for whatever you'd like to have. But you can also take it as an individual class. Hi Julie, hi Kay, Pam, lots of people jumping on. Excellent, that's encouraging to see. Okay, so tonight's the last night of the Love 3D Valentine tree boxes. Originally I planned to do tomorrow as well, but my husband is not super pleased with me. Not because he thinks I should be spending time with him, but because he thinks I'm doing too much. So I was online, I did 3 projects. So these are the projects we did. I'll move this over. This one I took apart today to take a picture of, but this had a Ghirardelli candy in it. So that was number 2. Project number 1 was this little guy. This was number 2 for a Ghirardelli treat. This was number 3 with our jar of flowers. This is number 4 with our ladybugs. And this one was number 5. This holds a packet of the cake in a mug mix that you can get in the grocery stores. This happens to be a brownie mix. And I got some questions about this one. I bought mine is from, I guess I put the box away already, but it's a Ghirardelli, what am I trying to say, brownie mix that comes in little packets that you just put with water and stick in the microwave. And I didn't get mine on Amazon. I got them at a local store here, but I did find them on Amazon, and I did put the link in last night's video. So if you see this one, this was project number 5, and you look in the comments, I have the link to Amazon to get those. So if you put in an order for $50 or more, you'll get the 3D instructions. I've already had my tutorial done. You'll get the 3D tutorial. You'll get the tutorial for all the 3D ones, and I always put everything that I use. I put detailed instructions. I put 2 photos, one of the whole thing, one of a close-up, tell you how to make it, etc. So this one's already done, and plus the one we're going to make tonight is already on here too. So, and this ends tomorrow, and you have to use this host code to get that special. But if you go over $150, don't use the host code. I'll still see the date on it, and I'll see that you get everything I'm offering. Okay, so who gives Galentine treats? Hi, Arlene. Does anybody give the gals in your life treats for Valentine's Day? Actually, that's usually who I do give treats to. But it's apparently, I didn't know it was actually an official day, but apparently it's February 13th. Is Galentine's Day. So, if you need a treat idea, this will work well. If you don't have these little boxes, they're in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. They're just called acetate boxes. They're 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And this is how I usually fold these. If I'm having trouble, because acetate is kind of stiff, I fold them back on themselves once or twice, and then I fold it forward, and it seems to stay shut a little bit better. But if you don't have this box, you can still use the ideas I'm going to show you tonight, and just use whatever you do have at home. I've been trying to just show you things like, Diane, you do? Yeah, me too. I've been trying to show you things that are quick and easy that you can do without actually having to make a box. We haven't actually made one box. Everything I've showed you with on the 3D Love 3D series is none of them had to have a box made. Last night we just used a medium envelope for that treat box. Well, let me get the candy out here. I just use, these are Hershey's candy. I don't even know what I put in my original one, but there's a lot of candy like this in the stores right now, the heart candy. And I think in my actual sample I had enough room for 5. So let me grab another one. I don't think I have any more pink ones, so I'm just gonna, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm gonna have one that isn't pink, but we're covering the top of our box anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And that's a peanut butter one, so probably anybody's going to really love that anyway. But Galentine's Day is actually an official day, so I thought that was kind of cool to know that, because honestly, my girlfriends are the ones I normally give the gifts to, or my stamping girls, I always give them gifts when they take a product-based class, etc. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing here. I took this is called the Bouquet of Love embossing folder, hybrid embossing folder, and it comes with, let me grab my dies. It comes with a set of dies, and I used all these, well, I didn't use all of them, but I used most of these dies on the project we're going to make tonight. And I like that there's 2 bigger flowers and then 2 smaller flowers, so one trip through the embossing machine, or Stamp and Cut and embossing machine, you're going to have 4 flowers right off the bat. But this bigger heart and then this little one. But the one you use with the embossing folder is this larger one, and that's the one we're going to make tonight, or use tonight. So, I know, Christy, I didn't know either that it was an official day. I found that out one day this week from another person that I know in the business world. So, I'm gonna show you how this works. I cut a piece of Blushing Bride, and this is 3 by 3. And then I'm going to, let me grab my sample. Well, let me show you this first, and then I'll grab the machine. So this, I always do mine. Oh, I got the wrong end. No, that's the right one. Okay, so there's 2 hearts, obviously. And on this side, is where you fit this little die in, and you can tell because it will fit in the groove. On this side there's no groove, so it doesn't fit. But this side there's a groove on it, so that's the side you want. And then we're just going to put our cardstock here, and then we'll close it like this. I'm going to try and get this centered, but I'm not going to do that till I move my machine, because I have to let go of it in order to move my machine. So I don't want to have to readjust it. So let me get going here. So I did Wednesday through Friday last week, we did Facebook Live with Valentine projects, and then Monday night we did another one, and then Wednesday night we did another one, Thursday night we did another one, and then I had my team meeting Tuesday night. So for some reason Steve seemed to think that that was quite enough activity, because it does make a long day. Sorry, I've got to get this straightened out here for me, because then I don't wind down and sleep as well as I could. So I know this is going to be really close, and it's going to be hard to hold it and actually try and show you, but what I'm trying to do is center it up a bit in there around the heart, because this is going to go on the top of our box, so we want it fairly squared up. Okay, so we're going to send this through with your embossing folder. Send your folded side through to protect your embossing folder. Oops, we don't want, hold on. We don't want that. What we want, let me go get my gray plate. I thought I had it. I look at a die and I think we're die cutting, and we are die cutting, but we don't need this layer and we don't need this acrylic plate for what we're going to do. So now for this, we need our embossing folder to just go in with the folded end going in first, and then we're going to put on our gray plate to go through, and then I'm just going to wind it through. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back. It would cut even if we didn't bring it back, but just for the sake of having it on my left side so I can grab it. So this is not good, but I haven't even sent my Valentine's cards yet. They'll be in the mail tomorrow. What happened? Oh my gosh, seriously? I put this down going the wrong way. So we have to go like this. I'm going to have to redo this, kids. What do you think if I can get this on here squared? Let's see if I can. I probably can, maybe. I'm looking at the imprint, which you probably can't tell if I'm squared away or not. It's not really going to matter because we don't need the outside part. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to recut it. I have my cutting edge going the wrong way. So all we got was the indent and not the cutting. Probably because I'm blabbing away. I always think when I'm watching a video, I always think, how do they keep talking? And see, that's what it would look like if you didn't have it cut, but we're going to cut it. Hopefully we're going to cut it this time. I'm not sure how I did that wrong. Because the cutting, let me get my machine again. See if we can get this time. The second time is always good, right? Okay, let's try this one more time. Put our blade in there. Try and get this centered. This should cut it. Try it again. In the meantime, I have my Valentine. I've had my Valentine cards made for over a month, but I don't know. I lost track of January. The days just seem to fly by, and I'm doing the same thing with February. There we go. That'll work. That's better. Let me get this out of the way. We'll grab our little heart and then we can do this. Okay. Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you. Thanks for sharing it. I really appreciate it. All right, so we've got this. And I also, earlier when I was getting ready, I went ahead and cut the Simply Marvelous celebration paper. It comes in all these colors. It's free with a $50 order, and you get like 4 or 5 of each piece, but these are the colors. This side is a little more marbly, and then on the other side, it's kind of like, I always feel like this looks kind of like swirling paint or something like that. It's a little more pronounced than the other side. So, I love it. I think the paper is just really, really beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and start with gluing on this, this guy here. And I'm going to use tear and tape for this. I think even mini glue dots. In fact, I have used mini glue dots before with something like this. When I did these one year for a craft fair project, a Christmas project, I just used mini glue dots to hold on my cardstock, and it held it on very well. So, but you do need a strong adhesive, so don't just use your tape runner on this because you needed this to stick together. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll use our Take a Pic tool. But I will get my cards mailed tomorrow. And I have some friends, at least 1 or 2 friends, that actually send Valentine cards instead of Christmas cards. Any of you do that? I send Christmas cards. And I don't send too many Valentines, although this year I'm sending quite a few of my customers Valentines. Those who have been ordering frequently, I'm sending them a Valentine card tomorrow. So if you're one of my customers and you don't get one on Valentine's Day, it might just be coming the day after. Okay, so this is the craft cardstock that comes at 6x6. It came out in the holiday catalog, but it I'll go ahead and put the marble in here. It stayed, so we'll have that in the annual catalog, and it's also in the online store now, so you can purchase it if you want to. I like craft cardstock. It's a little bit different texture. It's a little bit stiffer texture than crumb cake, and it's just I just really like it, and I love it with pink. This is really my kind of a project. You know, I like to do a lot of different kinds of things, but if I could pick probably things I would make that only just things that I really, really like, I would be making a lot of things that are pink and mixed with crumb cake, kind of having that kind of vintagey feel. And some bling. This ribbon is the artistry, what is this called? Something about artistry. Fine art ribbon, and it has little gold flecks in it, so I love it with the crumb cake, and it has that beautiful gold fleck in it. Hi, Margaret. Oh, thanks for watching, and thanks for sharing. You guys have been so good about sharing. It's just really helping my my Facebook numbers go up. And make sure you like and follow my page if you aren't yet, and then I'd love for you to join my Create with Joey Stampers group. I usually forget to talk about this, but, well, you can tell how old this is because it's all kind of gotten sun worn on it. But that's my creative community, and I do post things there that I don't post always on my business page. But we share, a lot of people share projects on there. So you can share your projects too. I would love to see what you're making for Valentine's Day. So if you're a member of that group, I would love to see what you're making. Whoops, Okay, I got to do this one more time. Hang on. That went kind of wacky. I don't know what happened. And also Facebook lets you see a lot more posts in my creative community on my Create with Joey Stampers group than they do my business page. Because on my business page, I've been having trouble with bows this week, for Pete's sakes. On my business page, Facebook really wants me to pay them to boost everything, to show it to more people. And I do that sometimes, especially if I have a class coming up or something special going on. But on my Create with Joey Stampers group, you'll see things more often that I post and that other people post too. So that's a good thing, because it's a community. It isn't a business page. So we got this going. Okay, there we go. So I asked those of you that were watching early on in this series if you did anything for Valentine's Day. A lot of you said you usually don't do anything on Valentine's Day, but you maybe do something the day after or the weekend before or something. We are this year actually going out to dinner with a couple of friends on Valentine's Day. Okay, we've got that. And now we're going to grab the white crafting. Now this is an old style pad, but it works the same way with the new pads. And craft ink is a heavier ink. It's a stickier ink. We use it a lot of times with embossing. But today I'm going to just dab my sponge dauber in it. And I'm just going to go over the tops of the tops of the image that are popped up with the Bouquet of Love embossing folder. And this goes with the Love and Happiness stamps. I'll get those out to show you too. So I love these stamps. I mean, there are 2 Valentine greetings in there, but the rest are just love of every kind. So it's happy anniversary. I love having a stamp set that's kind of dedicated to one type of sentiment, and then I know where to go and find something that I need instead of having to look through all my stamps to find one particular type of greeting. Okay, I don't know if this is showing up. It looks like it is showing up, okay, on the video. So just now, I will say I have tried to be really sure that I wasn't showing you anything that was out of stock. But the sponge daubers are out of stock, but they're supposed to come in the next few weeks. I also die cut a lot of little flowers here so we can decorate the top of our box. So what are you guys doing on Valentine's Day? Anybody else going out to dinner? Or doing takeout? Or cooking at home that night, a special dinner? Or driving through the drive-thru? I'd love to know what you're doing. Okay, so now to decorate our heart, I'm going to take, this is my, just my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I'm going to take this is the marble DSP. You can't see it as well on the side I'm going to use, but that's the marble DSP, and these are all the Blushing Bride cardstock. And then I'm just going to take, this is let me grab a paintbrush. This isn't the one I use, but you can use any paintbrush that has a rounded end like this. The one I used yesterday had a little more narrow, I think it was this one, a more narrow tip. And I'm just going to just press down a little bit. Now that's more than I wanted to do, so, but that'll still work. Press down just a little bit. Like this, and it kind of curls up the edges of the flower. I'm going to put gems there, so I don't really care that it tore a little bit, but there we go, that's better. And there we go. Okay, so that just gives it a little bit more dimension. Then we'll go ahead and we're going to put these popped up flowers, we're going to put those on the plain flowers. So I'm going to grab my mini glue dots and go ahead and stick them on there. And this one, am I out? Just about out on this roll, not quite. Then I'm going to, oh, Sue, thank you. Oh, Pam, you've been working with this set too. I didn't know how much I would enjoy. I mean, I knew I would like it because it's hearts and flowers, so how can you go wrong? But I have really enjoyed it, and I'll continue to use it since it isn't just Valentine's. So I'm going to go ahead, and this just gave the flowers a little more oomph, you know, just you could see the petals. Just gave it a little bit more of a, set them off a little bit more, like as a backing, and making them be more of an accent. So now with those, I'm still going to stick with mini glue dots. I'm not going to go to dimensionals, although I think I'll go ahead and put on my heart here first before we get too far. I do love this box. I was really anxious to show it to you because I just think it's so pretty and it's really me. This heart idea, though, I did get that from demonstrator Tammy Hewlett. When we're demonstrators, we get to be part of a Facebook group called Demonstrator Party Planning. And she's one of our Stampin' Up! Artists. And she did this kind of heart idea, and I sent her a note the other day, and I said, I really loved your project. She did it with a different box, and I'm doing some different things than she did, but I did ask her because the heart part of it is similar to what she did. But this is something I would give a girlfriend of mine. I have one friend that I don't get to see her very often, but when I see her, I always bring her a little something I've made. Usually it's a box of cards or something, but this will go to her. Okay, so then our flowers are there. Whoops, that didn't stick. We need another glue dot on that. The white chalk, or I would call it white chalk ink. It's not white chalk, it's white craft ink. It might make you use an extra glue dot or two. I'm going to give it a little bit more pressure to stick down this one too. Okay, like so. Then I'm going to grab these two guys. I guess I didn't need those two little flowers. I don't think I'm going to use those. I forgot. It's okay. All right, so then we're going to go back to our mini glue dots. Oh, Diane, thank you. You made 2 birthday cards, Pam, for a teenager. Oh, I know, it's just beautiful. You know, you look at something in the catalog and you think that's really pretty. But sometimes you just don't realize how pretty and how useful a set is until you buy it. And Stampin' Up! Is so good with our products that way, that they see that before we do sometimes. So I'm just using these little flowers, just make a little bouquet here in the corner, kind of like so. And then we're going to take a lot of gems. This is something I never do, but I did see this on Tammy's card, Tammy Hewlett's card. I don't know why I usually don't do this. I have done it a time or two, but I haven't done it for a long time. She used different embellishments for her card. Instead of just one kind, she used several different ones. So for this flower, I'm going to put on, before I do that, I'm just going to go around my flower a little bit and just kind of lift up those petals of the flower and kind of crease them so they come up just a little bit. I know this is kind of a putsy treat box. I have given you all things this week and last week that were not so putsy, that were pretty quick and easy, but this is more involved. But it's not hard. It just, you know, there's just a few more details, a little bit more die cutting, and then you have the the sponging of the sponge daubers, but you know, you can always leave out some steps. If you're pressed for time, you can leave them out. Okay, then we're going to go to the Gilded Gems, which I love these, and I haven't had them out for a long time, but I always think of them for Christmas because they're gold. I don't know, I guess I think of gold for Christmas. But we're going to go ahead and put, let's take a medium one here, and we'll put this in this little flower. And then let's take, I guess, 2 mediums. Let's do 2 mediums. There's large, medium, and small in this group. Whoop, that flower wants to come off too. I must have gotten more craft ink on this one than I got on my sample because it didn't, my flowers stayed on, but these are not wanting to stay on tonight, so we'll just grab another one and we'll put her back down. Right there. Give a little more pressure. Okay, again, I'm going to turn up those little edges. Like so on my flower. I'm just turning them up around the embellishment. This little guy. Just like so. Now I'm piddling around with this. You certainly don't have to do all this. You can make this much simpler. It would be beautiful even without the flowers on it. But the flowers come as part of the dies, and they coordinate with everything, which is Stampin' Up's hallmark, is that they coordinate everything with everything. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to put one more on. We're going to grab these. And I used a lot more of my gold ones than my silver ones. I looked in my embellishment box that has these in it, and I didn't have any gold ones. So I'm on my way to maybe a second one. Hey, I'm going to put a couple more of these guys on. Maybe just one more of these before I go on to that one. Let me grab something here. I think a medium one. I'm going to put another medium one over here. Now we'll put our gold one of our gold metallic ones here, kind of next to it. And then let's do another gold one. And in person, these golds are quite a bit different, and it just adds so much dimension. What? This guy doesn't want to stick here. Come on. Come on. Like so. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Do you always dress according? Yes, I do. I do think about it because I don't want to come on here with like a green shirt and then I'm working with all these delicate, pretty flowers. Pink and soft pinks and stuff, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to have this glaring, ugly shirt color on that doesn't go with my heart. Okay, kids, we got that. And so we're not quite done. We have to do our greeting. I'm gonna grab just a scrap of the marble paper, and then I'm going to grab my cutter, and I'm gonna cut. We'll see if I can make this work. Maybe just 1/4 of an inch. The other thing you can do is not really do this. You can just actually stamp your greeting. That's pretty thin. I don't know if I'll make that work or not. I did it yesterday, but everything changes when I'm on Facebook Live. Things that I did yesterday, I can't always do. I'm going to grab my early espresso. And then I am going back to I was trying to think today, you know, if I was really putzing around with this, I could have omitted the V here, and then I could have used the G, but I thought, no, I'm not going to figure that out. I know there's a way to do it, but I'm not going to try it. Especially when I'm doing Facebook Live. Okay, so let's see if I can get this in the middle of this strip of paper. Not too bad, but it's kind of crooked. Let's try it again. If I can't do it this time, we're going to do it a different way. That's pretty good. Okay, we'll go with that. And I liked using the marble paper because I like that it has a little bit of texture and background in it. But thank you, Pam. I love this too. It's my favorite project of all the ones we've made. As I said, this is really up my alley. But you know, if it would have just been only things that are my favorite this week, you'd have seen nothing but pink probably. So we threw in red and purple and pool party and other colors. Actually, now I'm looking at this, it doesn't look that crooked. I think it would have been okay. So we're going to go ahead and now you can use, I did want to pop this up. So I'm going to take, where's my adhesive? You know, you can use your dimensionals this way. You're just going to cut a thin strip. And we actually have some thin strips. I just forgot to pull them out. That are really nice for making shaker cards and things like that. But you can use the side of your dimensionals like this and just cut a thin strip when you need it to be pretty thin. Again, I know this is a little bit of a putsy project, which, you know, if you had to make 20 of these, you probably would not do all this. But if you only had to make 2 or 3 or maybe even 10 for a special group of girlfriends or sisters or mothers-in-law or, you know, the girls in your life that would like pink. Okay, I'm going to put this, let's see, I'm going to move this bow down just a little bit here. And then I'm going to put, well, let's do the greetings first. I'm going to put, so I can kind of tell where to put this. There's going to be the greetings here. And then Valentine greetings here. Let me pull this over just a touch. Be right on the edge. And then this will be right on the edge like that. And then our bow comes up like that. Isn't that pretty, girls? And then the back would have looked pretty if I'd had one more pink part, but it's okay. It's still pretty. I love this little box. And if you gave yourself enough time, you could make these too. It just, as I said, the rest I did were all fast and easy. And this one took a little bit more time, but I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So there's that one. There's those two. And then here's all of our 6 projects that if you put in a $50 order by the end of the day tomorrow, the special ends tomorrow, you will get the PDF for all these projects. And let's see if I can grab one of these, this guy. This one, and Love You More Than Chocolate. So there's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's our, oh, here's our little otter. Use this host code when you order. Kelly, you like the bow on the right? Oh, yeah, I guess I did do it differently. That's why I was probably struggling getting this ribbon on instead of the left. Yeah, that makes sense. I wasn't looking close enough at my sample. I think maybe I would like that way too. This way. You mean this one, right? This one to my right? Not sure. Okay, but as I said, none of these are hard to make. This is just designer paper wrapped around a Hershey bar. This is a medium-sized envelope that you can stick your little packet. You could use that for hot chocolate too. This is just a little matchbook with a Ghirardelli stuck in it. This also did have a Ghirardelli in it. It says Happy Valentine's Day on the inside. There's a pocket for it. If you didn't see that video, you can go back and watch that. And this is just designer paper stuck to one piece of white paper and stapled at the top. And this is 2x8 cello bags from Amazon. And there's our pretty little galentine treat. I just really appreciate you being with me this week and last week for every night. A lot of you have watched every single night. Oh, thank you, Kelly, so much. And Diane, thank you. And thank you for the hearts. I'm seeing the hearts pop up. That's so sweet of you. Let me pull these up where you can see them. As I said, the special to get the PDF file ends tomorrow. So make sure you order before then with a $50, with a minimum $50 order. Plus you get a celebration gift. So maybe you'd want to throw in this marvelous paper on your celebration, or maybe the little otters for your celebration pick. But there's other wonderful things to pick too if those two things don't tickle your fancy. Get up here and go right side up. So I will be back next Wednesday night for 3 or 4 projects. We'll do them all in one night instead of spread out. Probably 3, I'm not sure, 3 or 4. I have them all made. I know what we're going to do. But I hope you can join me next Wednesday night too. And I'm so happy you came and joined me tonight. Those of you that have done every single night with me for the Valentine treats, I just am really grateful. And I'm grateful if you weren't able to come and do it all those nights. No worries at all. You can go into my video section if you want to see any of these, and they stay. I always choose, I can choose for them to stay, never be deleted in my Facebook group, my Facebook page, and the videos. So I never delete them, so you can see them then. Oh, Christy, you're welcome. Thank you. Kelly, you might have some of these boxes left over because we did do them for a Christmas gift. I don't know if it was last year, but maybe 2 years ago. We did them because I was using them for craft fairs too. So you might have them. And that makes it faster and handier. And you don't have to put, the nice thing about these is you don't have to put a ton of candy in them. You can put a nice amount for a little treat, but you don't have to break the bank because candy is not cheap. All right, but thank you so much. You guys are the sweetest. I'm looking through the comments here. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm so happy you joined me. You guys are a huge support to me. I probably don't say that often enough. But if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be coming on doing this. And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've made more friends through Stampin' Up! Than I've made probably in any other one activity over the past years. My church, I've been with my church for 30 years, so I have a lot of friends there. But Stampin' Up! Really is where I've met my friends. I've met longtime friends. I've made longtime friends. I've made close friends, and I'm still making friends. So thank you so much for being a part of my life. You're so important to me, and I'm very, very grateful for you. I hope to see you next Wednesday night, 6:30, and we'll do 3 or 4 things with the new celebration stuff. Before I go, I meant to remind you of one thing. Hang on just a second. These colors are retiring. I meant to mention this earlier. So any of these colors that you want, these are the in colors that will leave us. So oops, oh gosh, I forgot I have my camera down. It already moved it. I was thinking you were down on my desktop. These 5 colors are the ones that are retiring. So they will be going on the retiring list starting the 1st of April. So you have from now till the end of March to make sure that you get all the cardstock you want in these colors that you already have, or your re-inkers, or if you don't have any of these colors yet and you want one or more of them, it would be important to get them ordered soon. So that's just something I try to remind people, and I meant to remind you earlier. I'll remind you again next week. But anyway, thanks again. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad you enjoyed the box. Thanks, Shirley. It was fun to have you here with me. See you next week. Bye-bye.